We are back for Wednesday, November 17th in the NBA. My best bets are on the way, including some player props, spreads, and over-unders. Yo, what's going on, everyone? This is Austin from Calling Our Shot, and we're going to get back after it. Let's not waste no more time. Let's recap yesterday. 3-1 on the day, 13-3 over our past 3 days. We've been on a roll. Our only loss of the day was our best bet. It was Bruce Brown under 16.5 PRAs, and that one was comical. Loses quickly. Vegas called up the Warriors quickly right before the game. They're like, hey, we got a lot of money on Bruce Brown's under. You mind tossing him a couple free layups? And they're like, yeah, bet. Yeah, they gave him free 5 quick layups. It was ridiculous. I could have made every single shot he did. But we bounced back rest of the night. Rudy Gobert over 26.5 points plus rebounds. He didn't even play in the fourth quarter. He still cashes it. Reggie Jackson's over was a little bit of a sweat bet, but he cashes it for us. And the Spurs team total under. You didn't even have to sweat that one out. Now subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. We appreciate all the new people joining the channel. And yesterday was a big day. We hit 13,000 subscribers. So pat yourselves on the back. We appreciate it. And not only to show our appreciation, we're doing our $13,000 subscriber parlay giveaway, which means we're going to place a parlay. It's going to include all the plays from today. If we sweep, just like we swept on Saturday, we're going to give away all the winnings to you guys. All you got to do is, 1, be subscribed to the channel, and 2, just like the video. And then we'll find you guys out. We'll be celebrating if we do complete the full sweep. I'll post the full official ticket, not only on Twitter at Calling Our Shot, so make sure you go follow us, but I'll also post it down below. It'll be a little bit of a combination of all the plays I talk about today, maybe a little bit better odds for some of them. But we're going to keep going. But 13,000 subscribers wasn't the biggest thing that was accomplished yesterday. It was our 1-year anniversary on YouTube. It's unreal. 365 days. We have accomplished a lot of things, but I think that was the biggest one, just being on the YouTube for a full year, which is unreal. And in that 365 days, we've posted 526 videos. Now, the crazy part is that is how many videos Pick Dogs posts a day. Now, I'm just kidding. All joking aside, guys, if you're a fan of Pick Dogs, we respect them. But yeah, we've had a lot of fun. We did a video, a montage of all our favorite memories, and we posted that. So if you haven't checked it out, I definitely encourage you guys to check it out. Now, if you're a new person to the channel and you're like, what the heck? At least you can go check it out and see, what you can expect on the Call on Our Shot channel. It'll be linked down below in the comments, in the description, pinned at the end of the video. It'll be anywhere that you want to look for it. Also, it's on the channel. But enough dilly-dallying. Let's get into this video. Let's talk about my favorite bets. And I'm going to talk about my best bet, which people keep saying it's jinxed. And you know what? This is my line in the sand. I'm saying, no, it's not jinxed. We've had some bad luck. So I got 2 best bets today, and we'll see how we do on them. I think all of them have been smart bets, but we just had some bad breaks. And speaking of smart, we're starting with Marcus Smart, over 4.5 assists, now minus 130 on DraftKings. Now, you can take it at 5.5. Probably won it. 4.5 is the best number you can get it at. But we've picked Smart's under in PRAs, and he hasn't necessarily scored or rebounded the ball too well, but what he has been doing is assisting it. He's had 5 or more assists in 5 straight games, and in all 6 games this season without Jaylen Brown, he's hit this over. Who Jaylen Brown also will be, again, inactive. Now, over this 5-game stretch, just over the past 5, because Jaylen Brown missed a game earlier on in the season, but over these last 5 games, he's averaging 11.8 assist chances per game, 4 more than any other player on the Boston Celtics. Now, let's talk about the matchup, because on Monday, we did another similar prop. Cole Anthony, we took his over. It was against the same team, the Atlanta Hawks, and he cashed it with these. It was over 4.5 assists. He had 11 assists that game. And it's because of the matchup, the Atlanta Hawks. Cole Anthony smashed that over because of this matchup. Now, the Hawks giving up the 3rd most assists per game in the NBA and the 2nd most assists per game to opposing point guards at over 10.1 per game. Now, you look at Marcus Smart, he's also had some quality success against this Hawks team in the past. His last 6 games against them, he's had 6, 9, 9, 4, 7, and 7 assists. Cashing this over easily in 5 of those 6 games. The one game he didn't, he had 4 assists, missed on the hook, and he only played 17 minutes in that game. Today, he'll play more minutes than that, and you'll see him again in the $13,000 parlay giveaway. So make sure you're subscribed so you have a chance of winning that money. Now, I love this play. I think he has a good chance of going over it. 5.5, not a bad play. If you get it at plus value, maybe you can take it, sprinkle on it. But like I said, those 6 games against Atlanta probably included Jaylen Brown. Today, Jaylen Brown will be out. I'm locking in Marcus Smart. Now, moving on to my other best bet of the day, Myles Turner, or under 8.5 rebounds, minus 140 on DraftKings. This line's too high. I won't allow it. Have you watched Myles Turner play? This is Myles Turner we're talking about. Now, he's a career 6.7 rebounds per game guy, and sure, this year he's been rebounding the ball more than average, 7.7 rebounds per game, but he still needs 9 to cash this over, and I don't think that's what he's going to get today. Now, rebounding the ball, that's Domantas Sabonis' job. Over Turner's last 2 games, he's played 67 minutes, 5 rebounds. Yep, 5 rebounds over 67 minutes. I believe he had 3 and 2 rebounds the last 2 games. Turner, he's had some great rebound games, and maybe that's what he hits us with tonight because this is the best bet. But, like, sure, he's had 15, 13, 11 rebounds in games, but in 15 games this season, he's gone over in just 6 games. So he's gone under 60% of the time. The Pistons aren't known to be, people might think, yeah, well, they're not a good rebounding team, but over their last 7 games, they're giving up the 10th fewest rebounds per game to opposing centers. Myles Turner not only has to compete with Sabonis, but also Malcolm Brogdon, who's averaging 7 rebounds per game, among other guys, and he's a guy that contests a lot of shots in the paint. So, if you're contesting shots in the paint, that means you're likely not in the right space for the rebound, so I'll be taking his under. Now, last 2 notes. Here we go. Even though he's seen double-digit rebound chances, even though he's had games with double-digit rebounds, he's still only averaging 14.5 rebound chances per game, which is only 2 more than Malcolm Brogdon and 6 less than Domantas Sabonis, and he would have to cash 9 of those 14, 15 rebound chances to cash this over, and I don't see it happening. Now, my second note, probably more important, in 20 career games versus the Detroit Pistons, he's averaging 5.3 rebounds per game, and over those 20 games, he's only hit the over once. Yes, just 5% of the time against the Pistons in his career, which was 9 rebounds back in 2019. I don't see him getting it done. Myles Turner, his rebounding prop should be at 6.5. You should never leave it, regardless of matchup or his performance, it should be 6.5, not 8.5. I'll take the under, 8.5 rebounds. Now, moving on to some spreads and over-unders. The Kings versus Timberwolves. I'm taking the over, 223.5 points, minus 110. Now, these are 2 fast-moving teams, and I will have a player prop later on in the video. Spoiler alert, but the Kings, they're ranked 8th in pace. Timberwolves not far behind them, right actually behind them, 9th in pace. And these teams both want to get up the court and shoot some threes. The Timberwolves currently actually shooting the most threes in the league, I believe over 43 per game. Now, they aren't making the most. They're actually making the 3rd most still, so it's not like, they're shooting a ton, they're bricking a ton. No, they're making a good amount of threes, and the Kings are more middle of the pack, kind of 15th and 15th in terms of make, but both teams don't necessarily they don't have the best defense in the world. They're not going to rely on the defense to win games. You look at the Kings, they're 20th they have the 20th best defensive rating in the NBA. Not too good. The Timberwolves 13th best, which arguably I think that's a little bit too high. Now the Kings have matched up well against teams that play fast, and they've scored less points against teams that play slow. What a concept. Now you look at it, they scored combined for 253 points with the Spurs. That plays pretty fast. Combined for 236 against the Pistons last game, 250 against the Hornets. The teams that they don't score a lot of points with are teams like Phoenix, teams like the Thunder, teams like the Pacers, who can sometimes play a lot slower than you might really expect. In their last 5 games against the Timberwolves, here are their combined totals: 253, 254, 222, 222, and 262. These teams score points, and that's what they're going to want to do. Get in transition, shoot a bunch of threes, and that's why I'm going to take it. I'm going to take the over 223.5 points. I see 87% of the bets are on the under. Yeah, no, Vegas is going to make another call if they see something like that. I'll take the over, 223.5 points. Now, moving on into my spread pick of the day, taking the Hawks, -4 versus the Celtics. Now, I'm going to keep riding with my home Hawks because they cashed for us on Monday. They're going to cash for us again today. At least I hope so. They're 5-1 against the spread at home this season, the 2nd best in the NBA. You know we fade the road Hawks, but we tail the home Hawks because the home Hawks are very good. Now, the Celtics, they've turned it around this season. They are playing pretty well on the road, better than you would expect. They're 6-2-1 against the spread on the road this season, the 3rd best in the NBA. But I do know the Hawks have some injury statuses that are worth monitoring, like Bogdan Bogdanovic and Kevin Huerter. But you also got the Celtics. They have to monitor Robert Williams, who's their starting center, probably their anchor on defense. So I maybe consider waiting and watching for that injury report, but I still think the Hawks can get it done. Now, in 3 matchups last season against the Boston Celtics, the Hawks won 2 of them, and one of those was a 15-point win at home, and the other one was a win in Boston by 8 points. But Boston, they're 5-4 straight up on the road, so they're 6-2-1 against the spread, but still only 5-4. And their wins, I think, have come against inferior opponents like the Magic, the Rockets, a banged-up Cavs team missing their 2 starting big men. That's one impressive road win in my opinion against the Miami Heat, who just came out flat, did not play well. I think the Hawks' size, athleticism matches well against the Celtics team, so I'll ride with the Hawks -4. And you look at the Lakers or the Celtics. This is their final game of a 3-game road span, so they're going to be playing on Friday on the road at home against the Lakers. Maybe they look forward to that matchup, so I'll ride with the Hawks -4 in this one. But speaking of the Lakers, I'll ride with their big man Anthony Davis over 24.5 points, -110 on DraftKings. Now he has to show up today. You don't get to go into your press conference, trash your team, saying you're not a championship level team in a game that you got ejected in the 3rd quarter, and then not show up and play out well. Now you're talking about it, sure, it's against Giannis and the Bucks, They have Giannis, obviously, and he's a great defensive player. But with Davis, all we really need is usage, in my opinion. And I think he'll get plenty of it today. In his 3 games versus Giannis, as a Laker, he scored 36, 30, and 18 points. Now, this 24.5 line, too disrespectful. This is one of the best players in the NBA. Davis is the leader of this team without LeBron James, who might be returning on Friday. But you gotta show up. You can't just come out into a press conference and just say all these things about your team and then not show up and at least be aggressive the whole game. I think we'll see him aggressive. Now, Davis, he's gone under this line in 3 of his past 5 games. 2 of those games he shot 13 and 9 times. The one game, obviously, he got ejected. And so, in one game, they got blown out. Now, I don't believe that's what we get today. Davis, he's a top NBA player. He's prideful, and he knows Giannis is kind of at that top. He's kind of the top of the throne at the moment. And so I think you look at it, he's going to want to show up and show out. Giannis, I know you're a great defender. Just give our man Anthony Davis a couple easy buckets. He's going to be on a premiere. It's a premiere game, prime time on ESPN. I think Anthony Davis gets us at least 25 points. So I'll take his over 24.5. Now moving on to another player prop, Cole Anthony, over 4.5 assists, minus 140 on DraftKings. Here we are again. He treated us nicely once. I think he'll treat us nicely again this one. He's gone over in back-to-back games, 8 and 11 assists the past 2. He's averaging 5.6 assists per game and 12.8 potential assists on the year. Now the Knicks, as I've talked about before, they used to be regarded as a great defensive team. No longer. You see them benching Evan Fournier, Kemba Walker, Mitchell Robinson. These guys are getting benched most of the games because the second unit's playing better than them. Now the Knicks are allowing the 9th most assists per game to opposing teams, the 11th most assists per game to opposing point guards. But it gets better because Cole has played against the Knicks twice this season, cashed the over in both of them, 6 and 8 assists. That 6 assists came in a game the Magic were down by 30 the whole game. But here's the best part. The Knicks have allowed at least one point guard to hit this over in every single game this season. The only game they didn't was a game against the Bucks where you saw George Hill and Drew Holiday only play 20 minutes each. So in every game this season, the starting point guard has hit this over, and even their backup like TJ McConnell, Alex Caruso, even George Hill in a separate game have hit this over. I like Cole Anthony to continue to get his teammates the ball. He's one of those most improved candidates, and he's really been playing well. I like the over at 4.5 assists with the juice. You can take it at 5.5, and you'll probably see the 5.5 line will be included in the $13,000 parlay. Now let's get into another player prop, Richaun Holmes, taking your over 22.5 points plus rebounds, minus 120 on DraftKings. Now, you can take his PRA line, but I think the best edge is on points plus rebounds. Holmes started the season hot, cashed this over in 5 of 6 games. Then he went on a stretch where he was kind of struggling. He was getting into foul trouble a lot of games. His minutes were sporadic, but over the last 2 games, he's had some good matchups, and he's been making the most of it. Now, Karl Anthony Towns, he's a great offensive center. We all know that, but we don't think he's a great defensive center, and he has proved that. Now, if Holmes can stay out of foul trouble, he should cash this easily. Over Holmes' last 2 games, he's had 28 points plus rebounds and 31 points plus rebounds. Cashing this easily. Now, you already know I like the over in this game. He's averaging 14.4 rebounds per game and 14.4 points per game, 10.9 rebounds per game, 25.3 points plus rebounds. The biggest edge, in my opinion, comes on the rebounding side, as the Timberwolves are giving up 18.4 rebounds per game to opposing centers, the 3rd most in the NBA. I think Holmes will play a healthy dosage of minutes against Cat. You look at it, he's probably their best matchup defensively. I understand they got Tristan Thompson and Alex Len, but both those guys are older, can't move their feet as well as Richaun Holmes. And especially you look at Cat, he stays on the perimeter a good amount of the time. So I'll ride with Holmes tonight, and I think he's got a good chance. Now, no call on our shot today, but I do want to have some quick notes because we will have the $13,000 parlay, which, in my opinion, kind of is calling my shot. But 2 player props that will be added, probably depending on the line. Drew Holiday, taking on the Lakers. Yeah, you're a point guard. Boom, that's easy. You're taking on the Lakers. They don't play point guards. They don't even guard him. They let Lonzo Ball have a night. So we'll probably add Drew Holiday, and we'll probably add Dean Wade, man of the people. We'll see what line he gets officially, but we'll probably add him again just because we have to, because he's been absolutely terrible on his PRA line recently, so we'll probably take his under. So stay tuned. We'll put it in the pinned comment down below, but also in that pinned comment is our 1-year anniversary video, so definitely go check it out. You don't want to miss out on it. It's a really cool video. I promise you. Everyone that I've heard talk to, they've enjoyed it. It was a really fun video to make. It's only 4 minutes long. You got 4 minutes left in your day. So we appreciate you guys as always for tuning in. Let's keep this train going. 13-3 the past 2 days. Let's keep it going. We appreciate you guys. It's been Austin, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.